that against City. It's all good and well having a 1, 2 maybe misplaced long balls or passes. He had about 5, 6, 7.
Now, having lived there myself, I could tell you that the football team is a kind of representation of the town. It's a gritty, tough town, and Luton will come to the Emirates and they will give off their best.
What's going on, people? Welcome back to AFTV. Listen, last season, when it all mattered, we kind of let it slip. We bottled it, some would say.
I didn't say that.
You didn't say that?
Nah.
So you didn't say when it matters, we fell apart, no?
There were reasons.
Okay.
I think the word bottling is the most overused word in football, alongside words like legend and. But anyway, carry on.
But when it matters, it kind of went wrong. But this season, after the draw, especially against City, a good point. Let's hope we can get a win against the Hatters, and we can continue this run. That was my intro.
I don't get it.
When it matters, Hatters.
Oh,
no, it's Luton. Yeah.
Okay.
You like that one? I tried.
Do you know why they're called the Hatters?
Do I know why they're called the Hatters?
Yeah.
No.
Because back in
I was looking at my hat. I wear that. You wear that.
No, because for those of you who don't know my history, I was born in London, but I lived in Luton for many years. But anyway, the story behind the Hatters is that back in the day, not so much now, Luton's famous for producing hats.
Right.
There's hats factories there for that, makes it famous for that. Hence the term Hatters. But anyway, carry on.
Oh, well, thank you for that. That's good. All right, well, listen, I want to get straight into this. This is the question I want to ask you, both of you. Do you think or expect to be a different affair to what we saw in the reverse fixture? Obviously, we won 4-3. It was at the death. We won the game. Will it be a lot different? Because think about it, there's more on the line in this fixture for both teams, because they're sitting 18th currently at the bottom trying to battle out a relegation, and we're going for the title. But with the form, when you look at both sides, you expect it. I'm assuming everyone's going to expect a comfortable win, but there's more in this game. So will it be similar to what we saw at their place? Turkish?
Hopefully not. I don't expect to go, toe to toe with Luton again. They made it difficult for us at Luton. We edged it 4-3. I don't expect a similar game this time round. I expect after the 0-0 with City, we find our goal scoring feet again and put them to the swords. I mean, listen, Luton, credit to them. I mean, a lot of people's favourites at the beginning of the season to go down, and listen, they still might, but they made a fight of it. But we're on to bigger and better things than Luton could ever imagine. So we need to make sure we, make that evident across the 90 minutes. We need to give minutes to players that need minutes heading into the business end, because, we are essentially in it, but we're not at that stage where last season we let it all go. There's still a few games to go before we enter that crucial six game stage. Yeah. So I think we've just got to get goals, get Partey some minutes. We're going to go predicted 11 soon enough, and get a few other players some minutes, hopefully Martinelli as well. Get the 3 points and move, because for me, Brighton away is the difficult one left this week.
Okay, fair.
Luton should be the one that, we have some joy against. Laurie's, I know Laurie's.
You know what he's going to say. You know exactly what he's going to say.
Yeah. I'm listening.
He's a strong advocate for Luton. You know what he says.
But we should do that. I'm not saying that, listen, this is the Premier League. We've seen madness. But I think Arsenal, this calendar year, best team in the Premier League, a solid point away to City.
Yeah.
It's time to, after such a rigid, structured performance against City, let the shackles off a little bit. It's Luton at home. It's the perfect game following that City one. You couldn't really ask for a better game. So make sure you make it count.
Just quickly before I go to Laurie and ask him if it's going to be similar to the reverse fixture that we saw, out of the run that we have left, who is your most feared team? Because you spoke about Brighton this week as well, but out of all of the teams, because I looked at it and I thought, there's only one game that actually I'm worried about. I'm not worried about the Old Trafford United away, but what is one game you're looking at that you think, I don't know about that one?
Tottenham will be the one I'm looking at, because with United comes second last game of the season. So by the time United comes, we're either there or we're not.
Cool.
It's what we do before United that will really make that United game mean as much as we hope it can mean. But the Tottenham one comes at a time where we don't pick up 3 points. That United game a couple of weeks later might not be what it should be. So I look at the Tottenham one, the first win we got at their ground for, what was it, last year, 2023, 2014, 9 years.
Yep.
We've got to do it again.
Okay.
We've got to do it again. And Tottenham will be hell-bent on, causing not only problems for us in our title challenge, but they're also in a top 4 battle.
Yeah.
So hopefully they remain in that top 4 battle, because they play City and Liverpool too. And you might argue that Tottenham will bend over for them, but if they've got something to play for themselves, then there shouldn't be any bending over.
Definitely right. Laurie, let me come to you. Same question about the reverse fixture. Do you think it'll be similar come Wednesday night against Luton? Because, like I said, both teams got a lot to play for. It's different to when we played them at their place, even though we just scraped by with the Declan Rice last-minute winner.
You know what? I'm going to start by saying this. I was interested in listening to you there chop it up, and I dare say you're making that same mistake, you two, aren't you? You're projecting forward.
I haven't said my thoughts yet.
You're talking about Tottenham, Man United.
Yeah, that is the only team I'm looking at.
I would say this.
I'm fearful of.
Sunday was a great point for Arsenal, but there's no point in doing such a great performance there if we then come up against Luton and slip up. So we do have to take them seriously. Now, Luton, I want to say this, yeah. So I lived there for a number of years. I've got a lot of friends in Luton. I've got family in Luton. Having lived there myself, I could tell you that the football team is a kind of representation of the town. It's a gritty, tough town, and Luton will come to the Emirates and they will give off their best. So, listen, I do expect us to win. And yes, we might win. No. Hear me out. We will. I do think we'll win with goals to spare, but I don't think Luton will come and roll over because they're not that type of team. It's not that type of town. Like I said, it's a gritty, tough town, and the football team, in my opinion anyway, reflects that. You've seen that this season. Even when they've lost, they've given a good count of themselves, as Turkish said. So, and if you look at their form as well, I think they've something like they've lost X amount of games. They've not won in their last 9, I think, but they've dropped points from like 9 from positions when they should have won games.
Gone forward, gone
I think they've dropped 19 points from winning positions.
Yeah, correct.
So that tells you, man, that they are a decent team, but they just can't get it across the line. And so we need to take them seriously.
So you're saying it's going to be a closer... I don't know if you're saying it's a closer affair. You said then we're probably going to win quite comfortably with a few goals to spare, but the way you're defending is like it's going to be a close affair.
No, I'm saying that expect them to come here and put up resistance. I don't think they'll roll over. No way.
Okay.
We will have to... if they are going to roll over, it's because we made them roll over. If you see what I'm saying.
I hear you. Okay. So
they will come and give off themselves. They're well organised. Rob Edwards is a decent manager at this level. He's got the team playing for him. They'll bring a few fans. The fans are behind the team. I know that for a fact because I speak to people that come from Luton that follow the team. And they will represent themselves as best as they can. It'll be up to us to put them to the sword, as Turkish said.
Let me ask you what I asked Turkish then, and not trying to skip ahead, look forward and be, an arrogant fan, but out of the last couple of games we have that running, against the last 8, who are you looking at as the fixture that, I'm worried more so for that game? Because we've got Brighton away, you've got United away, which is a big game, Spurs away, which I think agree with Turkish is the one I'm looking at, but which one are you most fearful of?
I want to reiterate, my attitude is let's take each game as it comes. Now listen, I can't be any more affirmative than what I'm saying. I think there's a mistake in projecting ahead. I see where you're going with this, but I think it's very important that as a fans, as a team, as an Arsenal collective, you focus on what's in front of you. The minute you start thinking ahead, but Luton will be all right, but Brighton, Tottenham, no. Let's focus on Luton. Let's show them the respect that they deserve. Because don't forget, they need the points desperately.
No, I'm aware of that.
Their need for the points is just as desperate as ours is. We badly need it, they badly need it. It makes for a good game.
Okay, if we win and we beat the Hatters, we become the top hat for 24 hours on Wednesday.
Who's writing those scripts for you?
James.
Let me just go through that.
Man's got a script writer.
I wish. Let me go through the last 5 that Luton played, because they haven't won in their last 5. You said they haven't won in their last 9, which is also correct.
Yeah, something like 9 games. Yeah,
but their last 5 results, they came to North London literally 2 days ago and played Tottenham. They went 1-0 ahead, one in front with Chong scoring the goal, ended up losing 2-1.
And I think they lost that game, sorry to interrupt, sir, in the last couple of minutes.
Correct.
That's what I'm saying. They always...
They should have been smart.
Okay.
Do you think, yeah?
Yeah, Tottenham should have got 3-4 against them, really.
But then Luton had a couple of chances as well that they didn't take.
They did, but we're not Tottenham. That's the thing.
But don't forget, when we played them in the corresponding fixture earlier in the season, it was tight, bro.
It was David Raya, though.
We're going to give you true.
It was tight.
A lot of mistakes in that game.
And he just had a bit of a poor one against City. Like, he didn't get punished for it, but his kicking was, listen, I expect Arteta to have a word. So I don't expect him to be at the core of any goals being conceded.
Okay, but the point I'm trying to make is that, and listen, I understand your level of confidence. I'm confident Arsenal will win as well.
I hope so.
What I'm saying is, do not disrespect or show a lack of respect to Luton, because they will come, and I've been watching a few of their games this season. They're well organised. They've got some very young, athletic, committed guys who could play a bit.
You're going on like the
I mean?
City though, Laurie.
No, I'm not, bro. I'm making the distinction that, listen,
no one's disrespecting
we
them.
are levels above them in terms of talent and the rest of it. But they will come and give off themselves. So we do need to be mindful of that.
Right.
And not just expect that we're going to win 3, 4, 5. We may well do that, but we've got to put the work in to do it, if you see what I'm saying.
Hey, all right, so we get 2-1 defeat against Tottenham, Luton there. They had a drew 1-1 with Nottingham Forest at their place, lost 4-3 to Bournemouth at their place. I remember that game actually. They were
3-0 up,
yeah, that was a good game to watch. Crystal Palace 1-1, they drew, and then
I think they got a last minute or in the last.
Smoke them, man.
I know.
About,
and then they lost 3-2 to Villa.
Respect this person, respect this team, show respect here, like, bro.
I was looking
respect us. We are like we're at the top of the table. We're fighting for a league. We're in Champions League.
But you know what it is, right? But that's why I do respect us, because in the art of war, you have to respect your opponent.
They're going on like they're going to be come up like they got Haaland, they got De Bruyne and that. Bro, they're not City.
Yeah, but the art of war, this is like Malta coming up against Turkey. There's no fucking competition, bro.
What, you mean like Turkey versus Austria?
No, I mean in war. Let me not bring Jamaica up. Let me not bring Jamaica up, yeah? Leon Bailey, talk to us. What's the problem? Talk to us.
We want peace.
Be our sports. Come talk to Robbie and Robbie about fucking Jamaican Federation.
All right, cool. But he's got to make a point there. I know you're saying respect them. You got to respect every team.
No, you have to respect every opponent.
Come on, man.
Every opponent.
Well, we'll get to that when we get to score predictions. I'll be interested to hear what you guys are going to predict. But we'll get to that at the end of the preview. We can go through Arsenal's last 5. But listen, we're unbeaten in our last 5. Just drawing with City. Rest of it has been wins. And I want to kind of, because we're not going to be doing a massive, there's not going to be a box to box, predict 11 separate video. I do want to ask you guys, what do you know about some players that can cause Arsenal problems? Anyone that comes to mind? Because I think they have got players that can cause Arsenal problems, but anyone that you have identified from Luton at all?
I haven't seen Luton recently, so I don't know what their injury situation is.
There's a lot of crazy. 13 players out. Okay, but
I know Lukonga's done well for them.
Yeah. He's not allowed to play, obviously.
Ross Barkley's been their main guy.
Been their best player this season.
Well.
I think Adebayo and Morris at times this season have had success in front of goal.
You referenced the guy Talish Chong, very talented player.
Yep, obviously comes from Man United.
Yeah, very good player, very energetic, skillful, gets up and down the pitch.
He's all right, man.
Ross Barkley, very good
fancy
player.
Name and an afro, and people just run away with it.
Listen, he's a talented player, man. Like you said, Carlton Morris is a captain up front, big physical presence.
For me, he's the main. I've got some of his numbers, 8 goals, 4 assists.
His supply line is through Jack Doughty. I hope I haven't butchered that name.
The fullback, yeah.
Very good dead ball exponent. And like I said, listen, Luton are a functional team. They haven't got any superstars. They've got Ross Barkley, who's clearly
a good
their
Luton
best
ambassador,
player. Well, listen, man, I know my football. I do my homework. But listen, like I said, they're a decent side.
Yep.
They're obviously the bottom end of the table. So some people say, how can it be a decent side if they're relegation threatened? But listen, they will give off themselves. That's what I'm saying. And I think there's a danger that, and it's understandable, especially by the fans. We've just gone up to City and had a really good performance. Everyone's thinking, Luton on Wednesday, we should smoke them. Now, listen, if we smoke them, we smoke them. But what I'm saying is, they're not going to roll over. We have to turn up, give them their respect, and be professional and get the job done. That's all I'm saying.
I think at Kenilworth Road, a lot of teams did respect them. I think at the start of the season, they were causing a lot of teams problems going there. I think when they come away, they're going to come to the Emirates. I think they're going to be...
They'll have a game plan.
They'll have a game plan, but I think they'll get exposed here at the Emirates. I'll be honest. I think we should be able to dominate them completely. And you mentioned some players there. To be real. Carlton Morris, again, like I mentioned, 8 goals, 4 assists. I believe Ross Barkley as well, 4 goals, 4 assists. Another stand-up for them. Andros Townsend, he's there. Good player, but he's someone to keep an eye out for. I'm going to get into, before we get into Predicts 11, injuries. So I want to just make it very clear, they are actually with a lot of players out, 13 on their injury list currently. I want to read through some of the names. Tom Lockyer, obviously with his chest, that issue, that problem that he had, and hopefully, he returns.
It's doubtful whether he'll play again.
He won't be, exactly.
Shout out to Tom Lockyer.
Amari Bell, Nakamba.
He's a good player.
Yeah. Nakamba with his knee, Adebayo with his thigh. Dan Potts, not our AFTV, Dan Potts, he's got a thigh injury as well. Mads Anderson with a calf injury. Abegi, can never say Benny, I can never say his name right. Thigh. Jacob Brown with his knee. Gabriel Osho with his knee as well. Reece Burke is also out, I believe, as well. And they got, Reece Burke was from the Tottenham game. They're gonna do a late fitness test with him. Same with Alfie Doughty, Jesus Lord. With his having a late injury check as well, and Chong as well after the Tottenham game. So huge list of players out.
Let's hope Reece Burke's not fit, because that could be a fucking big problem for us.
Regardless of all the players' injuries,
this guy just named the whole list of players. I don't care if all of them are playing. Osho and Burke and Ogbeni.
I seem to remember having a similar conversation like this when we played Porto, and you were saying we'll get it done in the first leg. And I was the one that's saying to you, listen, man, put some respect on Porto's name. So listen, there is a danger.
No, this feels different though, doesn't it? It must feel different. All those players out, and regardless of the players being out, we should be able to tell them.
Obviously, we should win.
Yes,
I'm not for 1 minute saying that we should go into this game with any fear. I'm not saying that whatsoever. What I'm saying is respect your opposition, because then you get the best out of yourself.
Okay, yeah. Albert Samuel Lukonga as well, he's obviously on loan, so he's not allowed to play in this, us being a parent club.
Should have been.
He's not allowed to.
Fuck it.
He's not allowed to play in this game. Turk is just on, get the job done.
He's proper having himself today, man.
But there will be a section of the fan base that will literally be thinking the same, and rightly so. They should be confident. Let's not forget.
I'm here to say to them, man, listen, just wind your neck in a little bit. Show respect to other teams. We've been guilty of this in the past, especially as a fan base. I'm not saying the players or the manager do that, but I interact with a lot of fans, both in person and online, and I see this attitude a lot. And I'm saying, chill.
You can respect and demolish. You can show respect.
We didn't demolish them last time we played them.
We didn't, but this time
we didn't demolish Brentford. And I heard a lot of them vibes when we was playing Brentford. Yeah, man, we'll smoke them. We beat this 6-0, 5-0, 4-0. Brentford, idiot thing. What happened?
Well, listen, we'll find out what happens after, on Wednesday night. And I'm going to get into our Predict 11 now. The only injury we have is the ACL from Urin Timber. Obviously, hopefully we'll be able to return towards the end of the season. That's what they're hoping for. But the only one on the injury list, blimey, what's going on today? Currently for Arsenal, Bukayo Saka obviously limped off. He's been going around on social media that all he does when he has a bad game is limp off. He limped off in the game against City, but he's expected to be available come Wednesday. Let's get into Predict 11. You spoke about David Ryan, the reverse fixture. I mean, he didn't have a good game. High claims on all his thing when it comes crossing into the box. Didn't have a good one against Luton, like I said, when we played him at their place. But I expect him, and I'm sure we both all expect him to start in goal.
I didn't think he was particularly good against City, with his feet anyway, if I'm being honest.
But everything else seemed all right though, Sean. I know he didn't have much to do because he only had one shot on target, but distribution wasn't great, but you'd expect him to still keep his shirt when it comes to Wednesday.
Listen, man, I'm not dissing the guy. He has been playing very well in recent games. I'm just saying in the City game, with the ball at his feet, which is normally one of his strengths, I think that's my opinion anyway, he wasn't at his best.
There was a lot of tension in the City ground. I must say, from fans, you can see it on the players. I was sat there and I was like, wow, no one wants to make a wrong mistake or pass.
It was a different type of game.
So here at the Emirates,
it needs to fix up though, man, before he's the next one replaced. Like, I'm not like...
Bro, you're on some Mikel Arteta thing when he's like rounds of few bad performances.
It didn't cost us. And Raya has improved on Ramsdale in my opinion, but I just feel like he's also had moments where, if we're talking about fine margins competing year in, year out, it's something to look at. He needs to, to be honest, he should have found his feet already. I don't think I should have seen a performance like that against City. It's all good and well having a, 1, 2 maybe misplaced long balls or passes. He had about 5, 6, 7. And that's not good enough.
It's a big game, Turkish.
I don't care what it is, though. I don't care what it is.
Come on.
No.
But so are you implying then what we should be looking for a better keeper? Or you sit down and have a word?
We're in a title challenge. We're in Champions League. What I'm saying is, I don't want to see any more iffy performances from Raya. I think this calendar year gone under the radar. The XG against were not allowing shots on goal, so he's had to focus on the ball distribution, and he's done very well up until that City game. But that City game was just like, how many times do you want? It's like, do you want them to score? Because the amount of times you keep on giving it away, it's like you just want them to open us up and score.
I think the disappointing thing from my point of view when I watched that game was he didn't have that much to do. The defence and the midfield was so outstanding that day that even when he was called upon, they were regulation, rudimentary saves that he had to make. So if you analyse his performance in terms of the ball at his feet, which is what the common knowledge is, that is supposed to be his strength. What I'm saying, in that City game, he was under par with the ball at his feet, in my opinion.
I'm glad.
I'm not saying he should be dropped, far from it. He's played well. But I do agree with Turkish. There were some very,
That's it.
Some moments in that game, man, that were not very good from him.
As fans, you have a right to criticise, and fair enough, he did it constructively there. I just think it was such a huge game, and you can have one of those. I know, and it didn't cost us. I hear what you're saying, but if you see it again against Luton, maybe then definitely there's a conversation to be had. But I feel in a game like that, City was their shape was impeccable as well. The pressure of the game, listen,
I personally thought, and I said it on the stream, and Turkish did as well, to be fair, it was a very creditable point. They went there, it was a high pressure game, biggest game of the season. A lot of people were saying that we were going to get exposed, we were going to bottle it, blah, blah, blah. Listen, man, we coached admirably. In fact, we could have won the game. You know what I mean? Even though they had most of the possession, what Arsenal showed on that day is that they can play a different type of football and still come away with a result. And I thought that they played well. Could even have won it.
We had the better
So
chances.
listen, as a performance, I'm with it. I thought they played really well. I'm just highlighting that you asked me about Raya, and I said, me personally, I thought him with the ball at his feet, he wasn't very good.
Okay.
Now, like you said, that was a different type of game, a lot of pressure, a lot
100%.
of tension. Against Luton, I expect it to be a very different type of game. So probably, you know what I mean, it won't be like that, you know what I mean? So,
okay, so we're going to go through the back line. Right back, I'm assuming it's going to be
easy.
Ben White keeps his place. No Tomiyasu coming in, people. Anyone want to? No one.
You know what? I was floating it with you guys before we came on air. I'm wondering if the manager will make a few changes, because let's face it, the game, we've had the break. Now the games are starting to come thick and fast. We had City on Sunday, we got Luton on Wednesday, we got Brighton at the weekend, right? The games are coming thick and fast. There has to be an element of rotation. I'm wondering if...
So is he disrespecting Luton by rotating?
Well, yeah, I knew you were going to try and get me on that, so I was ready for you, though.
You're ready?
I was ready for you.
Go on, run it then.
An element of rotation to allow some of the players on the periphery of the team to get some minutes and give some rest to the likes of Saka and people like that who have been week in, week out. Maybe they're starting to feel, you know what I mean, get a bit tired, or they might be nursing a minor injury. Is this the type of game where the manager feels that...
Eddie Nketiah, maybe?
Who knows?
All right, back.
All right, so...
Listen, you say that, man, but... He's the one that gave Eddie the contract and the 100 grand a week.
We'll wait
so he clearly thinks he's
We'll wait for Eddie
worthy.
talk when we get up the pitch. So right back, Turk is saying Ben White keeps his place. Tomiyasu,
normally, yeah. Ben White had a good game as well.
I think Ben White does keep his place. I think Tomiyasu will figure in the game, but I think Ben White will keep his place.
Too.
Back line, centre-back pairings, Saliba and Gabriel. I don't see that changing. Is anyone going to argue with that? I don't see that changing.
Listen, man, those two are outstanding. I mean... Initially, I gave Saliba man of the match, but maybe it should have been a joint man of the match, because those two guys were phenomenal. They were immense, and the way they kept Haaland quiet between them was great to watch for me. So
yeah, they keep their place, and the rhythm of them two has been superb.
It's the spine of the team. There,
left back now. Is this where Zinchenko comes back in, or does Kiwior keep his spot? I don't know. I feel like being at home, being in front of your home crowd, Zinchenko has been under a bit of criticism from fans recently, being not good on the ball at times, being sloppy, but he is big to our build-up in our play. Do you put Zinchenko in?
Zinni or Tommy, man? Zinni or Tommy? I think probably Zinni, because we're going to have a lot of the ball.
Yeah.
We want the overload in midfield.
Yep.
So Zinni probably is the best fit.
I agree. I've always said that when we're playing teams where we're expected to have a lot of the ball, and like you said, the overload in midfield, Zinchenko would appear to be the better option for that. Kiwior is a better defender than Zinchenko. He's more physically robust, but this is a different type of game. And so, yeah, I would lean towards either Zinchenko or Tomiyasu.
Okay.
And that's no shade on Kiwior, by the way, who's been really good. But that's just my opinion.
Let's rattle through the rest of the positions. Defensive midfield speaks for itself. It's either going to be... Well, it could be...
does it?
It could be Partey.
Does it? I mean, Partey looked good when he came on.
It should be Partey, man.
I mean, listen...
should be.
Let's keep it 100. Jorginho wasn't at his best against City. And again, circumstances prevail. But when Partey come on, I was actually quite impressed with the work he did. He looks like he could be ready.
Yeah, you caught me. I think he will go Partey, actually. I think Partey will go Partey.
If you're going to test him out, you're going to test him out.
And this is what I was saying. This could be where you get the element of rotation code. Partey, to me, I mean, if you remember, just before the break, when he was injured and he came back for that first game against Brentford, he came on and he put a few passes astray.
He was rusty.
He looked very rusty, but in the City game when he came on, he looked far sharper.
Okay,
so this could be The Luton game, I would say, yeah.
Okay, let's go Partey, and I think you're right there. 2 in front of him, Odegaard and Rice.
Yeah,
undroppable in my opinion.
I'd probably go with that. Yeah, it's strong. Get the job done and get Rice off, potentially Odegaard off as well. But I think start with that midfield, because that's the midfield we've all wanted to see for the whole season. We haven't really had a chance to see it in full flow. And against Luton at home, it's the best time to trial it. So Partey, Rice, Odegaard for me.
Okay. You're talking about 2 of the best players this season so far for Arsenal. Odegaard, I've been so impressed with him this season, man.
Saliba's in there
he
as well.
leads the press.
Or Gabriel.
But we referenced them, man, already. But I want to say about Odegaard, his performances this season have been excellent. Again, he wasn't at his best against City, but hey, he still put in a shift. But his performances, leading the press, some of the intricate play on the edge of the box, bringing other players into the team, giving them the ball, the leadership, he's been spot on. And of course, Rice, man. I mean, I could go on.
Yeah, let's move into the front three. Yeah. Going into the front three, who are we saying on the right? Because like I said, Bukayo Saka did come off limping, but expect him to start, boys. I wouldn't. You wouldn't?
Yeah, you know what? I'm kind of with you on that. Maybe it's time to look at Jesus in one of those positions.
Could be Jesus on the right. Could be Reece Nelson.
Martinelli came on the right against City.
Again, it's Luton, so I think some rotation there should, this is the game to do it. Because Brighton away and then Bayern Munich back to back in 4 or 5 days.
You're laughing, but rotation makes sense.
No, I'm right. It's just the way he said it. Luton.
No, but it's different. If we're playing if we're playing United or Chelsea or Liverpool or like West Ham even, these are teams that really could throw up a curveball. I don't see Luton throwing no curveballs.
So who are we going to put on the right? Because I'm actually quite confused by this position.
Is this we?
Or is it
I predict he'll start Saka again because he just tends to always start Saka. But
who would you like to see instead?
I'd probably pick a Jesus on the right or a Reece Nelson. I'm happy with either.
Yeah,
I'm happy with either. Depends how Jesus returned.
I'm not hating on that. I think it makes sense, and not because I'm denigrating Luton. Far from it. It's because, like I said, I think there should be a degree of rotation. Listen, we got all of these games coming up are big, right? All of them, Luton game included. They're all massive games. There's pressure on all of them. We're expected not just to win, but to win well. And we're playing teams that are going to want to beat us. So,
who do you think Arteta's going to put in that right position?
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's got options. So I'm saying, right, I do agree with Turkish that let's rotate a little bit. You know what I mean? Give some of the guys who have been on the periphery of the team, this is their chance to come in and make a statement. Say to the manager, listen, I'm here when called upon. And we go again.
Okay, just give me a name, because he's saying Saka will probably start. Mikel Arteta will probably start Saka, and I agree with that because he starts always, regardless. But who would you have? Anyone who would you want to see on that right? Whether it's a Reece Nelson, a Jesus, a Martinelli came on, even an Eddie.
Listen, if Saka come off injured, no doubt they'll assess him when training.
He's playing.
But if they feel that he needs a rest, then I've got no big issue with that. Okay. Give Reece or Jesus an opportunity. We've got Saka, he can always come on and affect the game then. So yeah.
Okay, left wing. Martinelli or Trossard?
Martinelli, give him 60.
Yeah?
I'm with
Give
that.
him 60 minutes. Yeah.
I actually want to see Martinelli. I want to see him. I think Arteta will go with him, but I also want to see him as well. So
if Saka doesn't start, I think it's integral Martinelli starts.
100%.
But if Saka starts, then I don't mind giving Martinelli 30, 40 off the bench.
And
I think we miss Martinelli. I think even on Sunday when he come on, that raw pace and the aggression running with the ball causes teams problems. So he's going to feature at some stage, I would imagine. Whether he starts or not, it's a different story. I think he probably will start, to be honest.
Okay, then up front in the number 9 positions, 2 people, Jesus or Havertz?
You don't be done. Come on, man. You're forgetting about his nephew.
Or Eddie Nketiah?
I don't think he will start Eddie.
Havertz should keep his spot because, this is another game for him to potentially get a goal and be a bit physical with the centre-backs. I mean, it's also a game for Eddie. He scores against Championship side, so, maybe he adds to his 5-goal tally.
Jeez.
You know what I'm going to say to that? I think that there's something that's happened between you and Eddie back in the day that you're not quite telling us.
Broski, I think it's just seeing our striker score 5 goals a season.
One day you will tell me what it is as well. One day he will tell me. Because you are obsessed with Eddie. Shout out to Eddie again.
Our host just left out Eddie in the strat, and I've brought him in, and you're saying I'm obsessed.
All right, so I'm assuming it's going to be. I'm assuming Arteta's going to go with.
If Eddie's called upon, I'm sure he'll do his best as he.
Of course,
does.
like every Arsenal player. I think Arteta's going to go with Havertz. I really believe that. I think Jesus. He will get minutes in the game, but I think he'll go with Havertz. So in the 9, let me just run through that predicted 11. In goal, David Raya. Right back, Ben White. Centre back pairing of Saliba and Gabriel. Left back, we're going with Zinchenko to come in for this game. Thomas Partey's going to centre defensive midfield. The two in front of him, Odegaard and Declan Rice. On the right, Bukayo Saka, we say keeps his place, even though he did live.
If fit.
Because
he looked like he was struggling. So if there's any doubts, then listen, rotate.
Even if he's 80%, Mikel Arteta's going to put him in if he's going to start him. Up front, Havertz, and on the left, Martinelli. Right, closing stats, just to see if I can sway your score predictions by any way. Not respecting Luton, respecting them. Let's see if we can give you these stats and if it'll change anything. Luton have scored in each of their last 18 Premier League games, the longest ongoing scoring streak in the competition. So they score a fair amount of goals. They do score goals. Arsenal have won 9 of their last 10 Premier League home games, only losing 1, winning the last 4 in a row by an aggregate score 14-3. Now that's a lot. Turkish, I'm going to start with your score prediction and then I'm going to give you a stat after.
5-1.
So off camera, we just had a picture of a little Arsenal fan and he went 5-1. You're going to agree with that?
I should have took his name, man. He gave me the belief. 5-1.
And just on this, Arsenal forward Gabriel Jesus turns 27, this is a weird stat, on the day of this game. He scored on his 24th birthday for Man City against Leicester and could become the first player to score a Premier League goal on his birthday for 2 different clubs.
It's your birthday, mate.
Oh, bro.
Bury it.
What the fuck does that mean?
Put it in the back of the net, bro. Just blow out the fucking candles and score. It's your birthday.
It's your birthday, man. It's your fucking birthday.
It's your birthday.
Shimmy,
it's my birthday. I'm banging that, bro. Bang passing to nobody. I'm banging that. You don't have to understand.
Laurie, time for your score prediction. What do you think the score's going to be? He's gone 5-1.
Listen, I do, of course. I think there will be goals because Luton, they do concede goals, especially late, but they score a few as well. I do think Arsenal win. I do think, unlike you guys, that Luton will represent and make a good fist of it, but ultimately Arsenal will be too good for them. In terms of scoreline, I think 3-1 to Arsenal.
Bit disrespectful.
So I'm going to round up with my score prediction. I'm stuck between 3 or 4-1.
Say 4 to match it up.
Yeah, let's do something different. I'll go 4. You've gone 5. I've gone 4. Laurie's gone 3-1. Let us know your score predictions in the comments below. Like this video if you like this video. Make sure you check out all the content coming your way for the Luton game, the match day live, the start 11 before the game, and then of course the fan cams after. We'll see you again very soon. Take care.